For the start of your holiday weekend, we're on your side with how long these cool mornings are going to last before the big Easter warm-up.
And Wes, we talk about ways you can spruce up your outdoor area as we head into the warmer months.
Plus, it's been 30 years since a devastating Palm Sunday tornado. We talk more about the event and how it impacted central Alabama.
WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Several years ago, Tania, but I certainly remember it. That's when I was, I guess you would say, a junior woodchuck meteorologist at the time.
You're talking about the Palm Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember last year, I was just in my first year here being at WBRC, and you guys sent me up to Piedmont, Alabama. I got to see where the damage happened and talk to some of the local officials up there who literally experienced that day. It's crazy to imagine that all that time has passed and they still hold this very close to their heart.
It certainly do, and that same area was impacted by the April 2011 tornado.
Exactly.
JP and I went there, some of the same areas that were impacted.
Yep.
It's incredible that some of these tornadoes that come into West Alabama, they follow the same path in East Alabama. We see that often, but I know we're going to talk a lot more about that coming up, though, and folks certainly in that area, we're certainly thinking about you on this anniversary date. Right now, though, we're also thinking about a lot of folks that's out of town right now. It's
spring break.
It's spring break. I know a lot of folks are down along the coast right now as we go to our Sky Vision at Panama City, and you can see a live look right now, and the water's choppy, the water's chilly, but the beaches are packed. I've seen a lot of folks down there today, and temperatures in the 70s, of course. It's spring break for many of us out there this week, 75. You can see that's a live look from schooners, and folks out there sinking their toes in the sand. And looking at Casa Loma camera there at Panama City, 75 degrees, but what a view there. About to capture that sunset there over the Gulf of Mexico. You can see a few clouds in place. I mentioned the temperatures. You can see off of Gulf Shores and Dauphin Island there, water temperatures are in the 60s right now. The good thing about water temperatures like this is too chilly to get in the water, but when the water temperatures are like this, you're not going to have tropical systems. That's why we don't have hurricane season this time of year. But once those water temperatures start rising on into the mid 70s, that's the start of hurricane season. So it's all about the water temperature and also the wind patterns there across the region this time of the year. But hurricane season doesn't begin until June the 1st. But looking at the beach forecast, if you are headed out for this coming weekend, for Easter weekend, you can see there's 70 for Saturday along the coast on average, and 70s also for Sunday with winds out of the southeast. Well, the days are certainly getting longer, and you can tell it out there. We're now seeing those sunset times at 7:04 for this evening, and even though it's starting to warm up, you'll notice that we still have some frost and freeze warnings not far from home tonight across Tennessee, North Mississippi. That's just over the state line. I still think some of our northwest counties, I would be extra careful. If you have any sensitive tropical plants, make sure they're indoors tonight, as we still could see a little bit of frost perhaps in some areas to the northwest. If not tonight, certainly tomorrow night, as those temperatures will take a tumble down into the upper 30s. But you can see for tomorrow morning, out the door, Jasper around 39, 39 at Hamilton. We'll see temperatures also in the 40s around Birmingham and for the Anniston area. So for most of us, we'll be in good shape for early tomorrow morning, and you'll certainly want the jacket in the morning, but the rest of the day we'll see a nice warm up into the 60s during the afternoon. And right now we take you further south to Valdosta, Georgia, where they were impacted by severe storms early this morning. Of course, that's the home territory for meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We were talking about this earlier today. Look at this footage from our sister station WALB, along with the heavy rain. This is that same system that impacted our area. We were very fortunate. As you can see here, these storms brought strong winds and hail to South Georgia. The wind bringing down multiple trees on top of major roadways, even on top of some homes. Valdosta Fire Chief Brian Boutwell says that over 4,000 residents were without power due to these storms, and nearly 32 homes were impacted. This comes as the city continues to clean up from the damage left from Hurricane Idalia just this past August.
And Wes, back here at home, today marks the 30th anniversary of the devastating Palm Sunday tornadoes of 1994. This catastrophic storm system causing at least 27 tornadoes across Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. It also brought strong winds and extreme flooding with hail reports throughout the event. The strongest tornado in Alabama being an EF4 beginning in Raglan and traveling through Cherokee County, bringing devastating damage to Goshen United Methodist Church. 20 people were killed and over 90 people were injured. But as we continue to prepare for our homes for spring and summer, I spoke to an expert on different tools and services you can use to make the process a little easier. I already know that people have been tending to their gardens. They've been trying to plant their fruits and their vegetables with the warmer days ahead. You're one of them, right?
I am.
So how can people do that and maybe work around using the Shipt app to help them do that better?
Yes, so with exciting news, like you mentioned, Lowe's is our first home improvement partner on the Shipt marketplace. And with the Shipt app, you can get all your favorite home improvement items delivered, your patio pillows, your cleaning supplies, and more delivered to your door.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah. And so we were talking a little bit earlier, you're a mother, you're busy. So for other moms out
Yes.
there, busy people in general, if they're working in their backyard and maybe missing some items, maybe they need some patio furniture covers, how can they utilize Shipt to maybe send them something that they need right away?
Yes, so that was totally me this past Sunday. We were outside working on the garden, prepping it with my husband, and my kids are running around, and I realized that we were short a few bags of soil. Last thing we want to do is load the kids up into the car, take them into, try to manage all of that. So I got on the Shipt app. It got me connected with one of my favorite preferred shoppers. I picked what I needed, had it delivered to my door by the afternoon. Saved the day.
Oh, that is so good. So maybe someone doesn't have a complete backyard, but they just want some plants to maybe decorate their front patios or something like that. What can you order? What are some of the items that you can get by using the Shipt app?
So actually these plants right here we had delivered through Shipt. So you can get your favorite ferns to hang at your front door, your favorite live plants. You can also get bulk cleaning supplies, your DIY projects, no matter the size of the home, the house, or the apartment. We all know we have our favorite DIY projects that require a little bit extra, and we can deliver it.
And
Well, live look from Montevallo this evening, and a lot of cloud cover out there overhead right now. And the models, it was interesting yesterday, were showing a little bit of this moisture streaming in. It's so dry, we're not expecting any precipitation to reach the ground, but there's a chance that you might look at the radar and see maybe a few light returns showing up. But these clouds will thin out later on tonight. We're going to see those lows. I mentioned low 40s and upper 30s, a cold start in the morning, maybe a little bit of frost in some areas to the north. Not a major risk there, but the afternoon tomorrow, highs in the 60s. A little bit colder tomorrow night, so that frost still a concern across those northern areas. The wind for tomorrow will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tania?
thanks, Wes. And as we continue to prepare for the first total solar eclipse in 7 years, cell phone companies are revisiting questions about service issues. WBRC Washington News Bureau correspondent Brendan Collerton spoke with Verizon and AT&T and tells us what we can expect.
Store event that we did,
Verizon's Chris Serico says the company has prepared for the coming eclipse. Similar events have historically caused service issues, but not because of the actual eclipse.
Thankfully, it unto itself has no impact on Verizon's network. Verizon's preparedness for the eclipse is just to deal with the gatherings of large groups that will meet up in the path of totality.
Verizon has activated 100 new cell sites in the last year alone along the path of totality and improved existing cell sites. AT&T has made similar improvements, and both companies have largely upgraded to 5G since the 2017 eclipse.
The 4G networks were a little bit like maybe a two-lane highway in the state, right? That you might have that you go down. And now you think about 5G, it's sort of like the Autobahn, right? Much bigger, 10 lanes, lots of traffic going through.
AT&T says it can also be helpful to try and find a Wi-Fi source, and if you cannot make a phone call, texting might still work.
If you want to send photos and things like that, some of the best ways to do it is via, the text app.
Cell companies say if you do want to take pictures of the eclipse on your phone, using a protective filter can protect your phone's lens from taking damage. Those filters, though, not a substitute for glasses that protect your eyes. Serico says if you do take pictures, avoid using your phone's filters or zooming in to achieve the best results.
I would really advise using a burst mode whenever the good stuff really starts happening, because that'll allow you to take a bunch of photos at the same time to really allow you to choose from a sequence rather than trying to nail it every single time with, your thumb.
In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
And check this out. Within the next couple of years, the world's clocks may need to be adjusted by a leap second. This is according to a new study from the journal Nature that shows that the melting polar ice is altering the Earth's rotation, which also means that the Earth's core is speeding up. That means that the world will soon need to subtract a second for the first time to coordinate with the Earth's rotation. As of now, it's still unclear when this leap will happen. Not much of a leap there with a second, but still ahead on First Alert Weather Extra, we talk more about the warm-up for your Easter weekend as well as the threat for storms to start off your week next week. We'll be right back. First Alert Weather Extra.
And welcome back. Well, that system that moved through yesterday, we talked about a lot of severe weather that happened across parts of Georgia. Of course, we saw some heavy rain after that system. We've had some time to go back and look at the rainfall data. Meteorologist Matt Daniel joins us now to talk about just how much rain we did receive.
We saw a lot of rainfall yesterday, especially in parts of West Alabama. I want to show you those observed rainfall totals, and pretty impressive. Check out Tuscaloosa, 2.32 inches of rainfall, which is actually a daily record for Tuscaloosa. The old record was set back in 1976 with 2.17 inches of rainfall. In Birmingham, over an inch and a half clear, a little over an inch, and then of course farther east we didn't see as much rain, just over a half of an inch there for Anniston. So of course we also got a lot of reports from our weather watchers. Ronald Hughes, it looks like he reported the most that I saw, almost 3 inches of rain there in Coker. Mount Olive, Christy Bolton reported 2.8 inches. Oakman, Sarah Porter reporting a little around a 2.25. In West Blockton, over 2 inches of rain, nearly 2 inches in Birmingham from Joey Amberson. And John King in Alabaster reporting over an inch and a quarter there. So thanks so much to our weather watchers, and this is the observed rainfall totals on our radar. And when you see those yellow colors in West Alabama from Marion, Winston, all the way down towards Pickens and Tuscaloosa counties, we're seeing over 2 to 3 inches of rainfall through there. And then notice it sort of backs off, which is pretty much right on par with the forecast. We figured there would be more rain in West Alabama than in East Alabama. So where do we stand? Well, normally in March is normally our wettest month of the year. We'll average about over 5.5 inches of rainfall in Birmingham, and we're pretty much close to that. We've had over 5 inches of rain so far in Birmingham, almost 5.5 inches of rain in Tuscaloosa, so already having a surplus for the month. And Anniston, you didn't get as much rain, so you still need another inch or so to get closer to average. You almost picked up 4 inches of rain this month alone. So let's talk about our yearly rainfall totals. Well, for the year so far in Birmingham, we've recorded over 16 inches of rain, and normally we'll average a little less than 15. So we got a surplus of almost an inch and a half, so that's not bad at all. And then for Tuscaloosa, a little bit better, bigger surplus. So I've seen almost 4.25 inches of rain surplus for the year. We've already picked up almost 19 inches of rain. And in Anniston, we've almost recorded 16 inches of rainfall for the year. Normally we'd be picking up about 14.5, and that means we got a surplus of almost an inch and a half. Always good to have a surplus of rain prior to the warm months. You never want to go into summer or fall with drought conditions. So that is definitely some good news. It looks like our next rain chance probably in the middle part of next week. Of course, we'll have updates about that through the app and all week long.
That's right, Matt. We're going to be talking about a chance for some rain, even some storms coming back, but we're also talking about the total solar eclipse that's coming up in just 11 days on April 8th. You can see the path to totality. Well, it's west of Alabama. It's going to be across Texas, across Arkansas. It's going to start around midday. We'll be in a zone where we'll have 80-90% blockage. That's when the moon moves between the earth and the sun. You can see there. Let me go back to that. And you'll see that map here across the southeast, but it looks like it's going to be 80 to 90% coverage for us here across Alabama, and then you get into far north Alabama, greater than 90% coverage. But here's the thing, even with that kind of coverage, you still need the eye protection. It's still going to be bright out there, but it will be quite the spectacle and something to certainly take in and observe. Very rare. Next time this is going to happen, 2044. We see the lunar eclipse. We had a lunar eclipse recently. We see those often, but to see a total solar eclipse, that is certainly rare. All right, looking at the radar right now, we have temperatures in the 60s. And by the way, we're going to have a lot content and stories coming up on the eclipse in the days ahead right here on Weather Extra. So check in with us here for updates on the eclipse. But notice how the radar is picking up a little bit of that moisture that's elevated. It's not reaching the surface, but you can see how those clouds are streaming in the view from space, moving in from the southwest across Mississippi and Alabama. These clouds will thin out later on tonight, and you'll see the temperatures. It's a slow fall here first off, but by the time we get to 10 o'clock, we'll start to see some 40s there on the map. Jasper, Coleman, Hamilton, Double Springs, around Smith Lake there. You can see those 40s out the door tomorrow morning. Low 40s and upper 30s, watching north and northwest areas. Possibility that we could see a little bit of frost in a few locations out there. But other than that, rest of the day looks incredible. I was out there actually washed the car today. Tomorrow looks like another good day if you want to maybe tackle a little yard work there later on, and maybe kind of do some pre-planning for that Easter egg hunt coming up this weekend. Notice as we go into early Friday, Good Friday, more 30s these on the map, so there's a greater chance that we could see a little bit of frost, especially to the north there early Friday morning, and then we'll see another nice warm up there as we go into Easter weekend. Highs this weekend in the 80s, dry through Sunday. I just want to show you the next chance for rain and storms, as Matt was talking about. We're watching next week, and will we see any strong to severe storms out of this? Just based on what the data is telling us today, there's some instability, but there's not as much wind energy, certainly not like this last system that moved through here, but with the amount of instability that some of the models are advertising, I can't rule out at some point a possible strong thunderstorm in that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Some data has this coming in Tuesday, some data has this more Tuesday night and a Wednesday, but we'll have to watch that for a risk of maybe some hail, some gusty winds. But the 7-day forecast, you can see highs in the 60s, lots of sunshine for our Thursday after that cold start, up to 72 on Friday. Easter Sunday, we're showing a temperature of 80 degrees, and then low 80s will probably top 80 degrees in a lot of areas there on Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, that first alert for the threat of thunderstorms. And we have adjusted those rain chances as we go to meteorologist Tania Michelle. I know earlier today it looked like we might not see as much rain. Some data says that maybe Tuesday we could have those higher rain chances, kind of bringing that system in a little bit sooner.
Yeah, absolutely, Wes. And that's the day that we have highlighted in red here, as you see there on our first alert weather calendar. Tuesday and into Wednesday, some rain and possible thunderstorms in the forecast. And then we have another system pushing through for the second full week of April. That's Monday, April the 8th and April the 9th. Looks like some rain and possibly some storms there for that Tuesday, April the 9th. But the good news is for the rest of this week and into your Easter weekend, looking really good. I don't know if you guys can see this bunny here, but it's a little creepy. I don't really like that. I don't really like that. But here we are looking beyond the 7-day, 8 to 14-day rainfall outlook. This is April 4th through the 10th. As you look here at the United States, it looks like majority of us are actually going to be seeing above average rainfall. So we could have more rain chances, storm chances in the forecast in the days ahead of us. And once again, this is April 4th through April 10th. But as we zoom in here, we are actually included in that above average rainfall outlook across all of Alabama, but a greater chance where you see the darker green along the coast of Alabama. So that's for that rainfall outlook. But what about those temperatures beyond the 7-day? Our 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, April 4th through the 10th, shows that, hey, the western portions, the west coast of the United States could see below average temperatures, and the central portions of the United States more near average, or excuse me, above average, with us here at home seeing near average and maybe our northwestern counties slightly above average. I really don't think we're going to be seeing things in a way of just completely away from seasonable, but we could see some warmer days than others, but closer to average between April 4th through the 10th. So that's beyond the 7-day. Now let's talk about Lauren Sloth. We're taking an extra look at some of the animal friends with meteorologist Lauren Linehan. She went down to Noccalula Falls to meet the newest addition to the family.
Well, it's spring break here in North and Central Alabama, and if you're looking for something fun to do with the kids, we've still got a few days more before Easter gets around the corner. You could come out to Noccalula Falls Park, where I am now joined by Christina and John, who are going to tell us more about what you can expect here at Noccalula Falls Park in Gadsden. So, Christina, you guys have had a great crowd, it seems, today. Tell me more about what people are coming out to experience at the park.
Well, the weather is finally cleared up and it's beautiful. We have the train running every day, and we have lots of new animals to see down at the petting zoo. So just a few weeks ago, we had a baby sloth that was born here at the park. So come by. You can't pet him just yet, but he is on display with his parents, and you can check them out, as well as our monkeys, our kangaroos, and lots of other animals.
And John, what are some of the other things people can experience when they come here, and why should people maybe make the drive up to Gadsden?
So, Noccalula Falls is really a natural treasure in Gadsden. We have a new set of steps that goes down to the gorge. We have a bridge that crosses the gorge. We have putt-putt up here at Noccalula Falls. So anything, it's going to be Easter weekend. It's going to be beautiful weather, and there's never been a better time to come to Gadsden and see Noccalula Falls than right now.
So how have things been thus far this week with the spring break crowds? I know you said you had a good turnout today. How's it been looking so far this week?
We have been busy. We are doing buy one, get one free at mini golf, so definitely want to check that out. And we are going to run that through Sunday. And we will be fully open for Easter here at the park and at mini golf. So definitely come out. If you haven't been able to make it this week, we will be open this weekend. But the crowds have been great. The weather's going to be great through the next few days, so definitely come out. We do open at 9 a.m. The park is open till 5, and mini golf is open until 7.
And is there anything else either of you would like to add about what the park has to offer?
So, at Gadsden, we have a beautiful downtown, we have a river, we have the Noccalula Falls, and we're home to Mickey Ferguson. So why would you not want to come to Gadsden,
Exactly.
That's right.
We should have sent Mickey out here, honestly. Yeah, so Mickey, if you're watching, we'll see you here at the park. But we'll have more information on our website as well.
Oh, no, I'm almost done editing it.
Temperatures closely tonight.
Absolutely. Check in with us first at 9 and again at 10. Have a great night.